Yeah.
Hi, welcome. Good morning. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the webinar Build Agentic AI in Minutes on Snowflake. And we have Sudeep with us joining today. Sudeep is a data engineering manager at Tradence. But apart from that, Sudeep wears a lot of hats. So let's start uh, by introducing Sudeep first. So, like I mentioned, Sudeep wears a lot of hats apart from being a data engineering manager at Tradence. He has a decade of experience in data engineering and AI. He's been a Snowflake squad member. He's also author of the book The Mindful Data Engineering Roadmap, and he has worked with Fortune 500 clients, in the data lake implementation across Azure, Databricks, and Snowflake. Welcome, Sudeep. It's such a great time to talk about AI, and so good to have you to talk about it, right? So
Yeah. Thank you so much, Kushagra and team, for giving me this opportunity. I'm really grateful for this and really excited to share my experience and this knowledge around Agentic AI and Snowflake Intelligence platform. So looking forward for it.
lovely. So today the agenda is pretty straightforward. We'll talk about the current landscape of agentic AI and AI in general and the user personas which Sudeep is dealing with, the problems and challenges faced by such users, how we are, using the Snowflake Intelligence platform to solve these challenges. What's the Snowflake AI suite? What are the use cases which are being solved? How Cortex Analyst and Cortex Search are bridging the data gaps. What is the intelligence agent for sales? How do we set that up? And a lot of tips and tricks will be given by Sudeep further in order to, for you guys to use uh, the setup and the overall platform for building your agent further. So Sudeep, we have a lot to pack in, so let's get started.
Sure,
Talking about
definitely.
current landscape and personas, Sudeep, please walk us through what are the different data challenges and the personas who are dealing with these challenges. How do you deal with it?
Yeah, so definitely we have different personas available. We would see in daily day-to-day life, right? Starting from the like a role, right? Data analyst is there, data scientist is there. We have data engineers as well who are dealing with the business users and the leaders and data stewards, right? They have the different requirement. They want the answers very fast, right? They have the different rules and logic, right? So to deal with these users persona, right? Currently, we need to understand, and we already know that the data is huge, right? Data is another uh, like the speed with the speed and the variety and the volume of data, it's really increasing, right? And even with that, uh, because the data is really coming from multiple sources, right? There are social media platforms, there is a lot of SaaS applications, right? A lot of logs, real-time data is coming, right? And different kind of data is also there, right? Structured, unstructured. So based upon that, it's really now we'll talk about the problem maybe next slide, but if we talk about the current landscape, the sources of data is huge, right? And definitely with the rise of demand of this AI bubble, right? So nowadays people are driving through this that hey, we need the AI, a chatbot in all their applications and products. So apart from that, definitely we know that the tracks are really spreading. Apart from BI, ML, AI also adding it on top of it, and on top of it, there is also a Gen AI where the people think they are doing making it live, but it's still in the POC phase. They are not able to make this into production ready, and it's really not a production ready thing. But in today's, we'll make it and we'll see how we can make it and solve these, give the solution to these problems.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah,
Very excited. Uh, but Sudeep, help us with the challenges, the daily challenges that you are seeing the customers being,
yeah,
accustomed to, and how are exactly are these challenges, linked further on with the demo or the subject itself that we're gonna solve.
definitely. So as and when the data is really getting huge, data. and different kind of data is coming, the data silos is one of the major problem that one would face, right? Because the data is now unstructured as well. We have images, we have different kind of, right, videos, images, and other text, audio as well, right? So all those kind of data that really create the data silos. Okay, that's a major problem. Moving to it, that once, so we know the data is spread across, so it's not unified, right? And we can't even access it very with the help of these all whatever problems is, right? We can't access it very fast.
True.
Every data have their own latency, right? So that is the second one. And moving to the AI side, so the things are not ready. The context which is required to provide to the AI, the models and all those stuff, right? That is that's lacking. Okay. And also with the increasing the risk of hallucinations and incorrect insights that AI is generating, right? There is really need to build the rack pipelines, all the solutions really required to give the context to the AI models. And
Right.
the next one is, like, obviously, if a business is asking some question, it takes time for the data analyst and the team, the BI, the data engineering team, and all the stuff to prepare the data, make it ready, and generate the answer, and then give it the response and the reports to the BI users, business users, right? The turnaround is really long,
Mm.
correct? And the next thing which I've seen is like the dashboard. There are a lot of dashboard, those static dashboards in Power BI tablets are there. I have seen my current company. One of the person reach out to me. Hey, there are 50 plus reports in one of the dashboard, but the acceptance and the change management and the usage is very less. Because who would go through those multiple reports into the dashboard and see inside and do the EDA and then generate the
Right.
final decision and the results, right? That's really uh, difficult in this current scenario. So, and the last major point that uh, nowadays people are facing is the security, governance, compliance things, whether it's HIPAA or whether it's GDPR, right? All those compliances. And these are really important when we deal with AI models, deal with different kind of data coming from different sources. So these are the major challenges that as of now the users and the leadership are really facing, and we have a solution for all this. So but before going to solution, the the impact of this is it's really impacting the business as well. Because if your organization is lacking behind in the age of AI, it's in the age of security, governance, compliance, and all the stuff, right? You're not able to make a decision correctly and
Right.
on time, right? So you will not in the competition in that case, right? So that is the impact directly on the business and the organization as well.
This is so relatable. So maybe when we at Evo uh, are talking to customers, and also we all also ask about similar problems from them. So yeah, very relatable. Moving forward, because we are going to use Snowflake Intelligence to solve these challenges, just walk us through how exactly is the problem statement being covered with that.
Yep, definitely. So for each of the problem, there is a solution. Okay. And what's the solution? Snowflake Intelligence Platform, where it's providing a single common platform for all type of data and with all type of veracity and the speed. So it can ingest and it can handle the structured, semi-structured as well as unstructured data, even in a single unified platform. That's the major solution because we know Snowflake is a data and AI platform, right? It can handle the all type of data, even the storage and compute if we talk about. So they are decoupled. It means they can scale up, but still they are integrated. Okay. Still they are unified in nature. Okay. No need to move the data from compute to storage. Okay. And moving to the groundedness of the AI, with the introduction of the Cortex AI functionality and in this intelligence platform, it really helped to provide the groundedness answer with the building of the Cortex search functionality, having the RAG in place where context will be provided with the unstructured data. ever even the structured data as well. A lot of KPI, a lot of capabilities are there. AI capabilities are there in the platform itself. And definitely, if we talk about context, for the same as well, it can generate the context, it can get the context and idea into the prompt by fetching the data which is already available in the Snowflake itself in the form of structured data. Okay. So that is the another solution. Now, moving to the answers, how fast it can answer. Now, since we know that in this platform, a user itself, a business user itself, they can simply type the question in the natural language, right, using their AI capabilities. Just write the question in simple English language, and they can get the insights generated at the same time in just a few seconds. See how fast this is for the users to do the analysis and get the results,
Exactly.
and very speed, right? That's why the faster is the insight that the user is getting, because now AI has been available in the data where the data is located, right? So that's really increased the speed. And obviously, Snowflake is like from security point of view, governance, compliance point of view, right? It's really one of the top data AI platform that makes sure all compliances are in place. Its security layer is really good, and same governance, all those role-based access control, all those things are in place, and that's why it's really popular nowadays. So in a nutshell, if I say the key takeaway from this is like Snowflake is a platform that provide the functionality to convert from the raw data directly to the intelligence, right? The trusted intelligence system. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. And this is so empowering, not even for techies and data engineers, but also for a non-technical person who just wants his
Yeah.
answer in the simplest way possible. Wonderful. Now, let us get introduced to the AI suite itself, right? So, just walk us through this.
Sure, definitely. So Snowflake Cortex AI, all the Cortex services we have in this intelligence platform, starting from the bottom left. So you see where the data is placed. So it has the data, and data can be available, grab it from the marketplace. You can ingest your own data using open flow data connectors. You can build your multi-model data from external data as well. You can grab it from there. Once we have the data ready, so now what is required? We need to process it and then build the RAG pipelines on top of it. What are the functionality available? So in the middle box, which is processing and retrieval, so we have Cortex Search, Analyst, and Document AI. So starting with Cortex Search. So Cortex Search is a grabbing the data which is unstructured in nature. So it has a capability to search on the images, audio, unstructured, semi-structured data. Okay, that's a capability of it. Now, why we need to search? To get the context. So if a AI model, Gen AI model is there, chatbot is there, it requires a context with the prompt to generate a better response. So that's where the Cortex search. I think we can deep dive in that later slides. Analyst is one where you need to search and get the context from the structured data. We have the data in the tables and the views and all, right? You can grab it using the Cortex search, but for that we need to build a semantic. Now, document AI is there for the PDF and all those stuff, right? You need to parse it, right? Some images, you need to parse it. You can use document AI. Just give the document and you can just ask question and it will parse it and give you the answers. So now, once we have processed all the data is available with us, right? Insights are available with us. Now we need to build the agents on top of it. So on the top slide, agent and insights, right? So it is having, first of all, Snowflake Intelligence. This is all is in Snowflake Intelligence platform where we have the Cortex agents and the AI SQL. The more focus on Cortex agent because it works like an agent. It know which tool to call. It can call a document AI. It can call an analyst or a search, Cortex search, based upon the need of the user. who asks a question. Okay. Cortex AI SQL, that is the useful for data engineers who can use the AI SQLs. SQL functions are there, like simply to transcribe something, to get the sentiment out of the any kind of data sets, right? Those SQL functions are there that can be used in the in the SQL queries simply. On top of it, on the right side, if you see whatever models are supported in the Snowflake platform itself, it's OpenAI, we have Anthropic, Meta, Mistral, DeepSeek, right? And Snowflake has its own model as well. So you can
Yeah.
fine tune it, you can infer it, you can embed the model, and this is all hosted inside the Snowflake platform. Okay, and on the governance side, we have a lot of things, RBAC, guardrails, evaluations, and you can monitor the agents as well, and you can see what all insights are there, and also get AI gateways. This is in a nutshell what AI offerings the Snowflake is providing. Yeah,
Lovely. Uh, a lot of things to double down upon as we move further in the demo. You'll also see in the data connectors section where if we refer to this particular suit, he also completely fits in the connectors that you're trying to bring in data from, which we'll
yep,
definitely see in the live demo.
definitely. Yep.
Yeah. So what are the top use cases for using this AI suite and utilizing Snowflake intelligence in general?
Yep, definitely. So, so there are multiple use cases. These are just a few. Like you can definitely sales performance analysis, do any kind of sales analysis with the sales data, or and you do some your own research. Just enable the document AI, do your research, okay, and get the insight out of it. You can. The best thing is you can do your own self EDA, right? You can do your exploration analysis, data analysis, because being a business user, you need to do a lot of EDAs with the data to understand it better,
Yeah.
right? So that is the thing. And these are the three major use cases. And in demo, definitely we'll explore more into the first one, sales performance analysis, and we'll deep dive that how it can help us to understand the what and why of the questions and how deep dive and answers and give us the response.
Great.
Yep.
You really touched upon Cortex Analyst, even in the AI suite and while we were, discussing the solution to the challenges. How exactly is it bridging the gap, of all the challenges and problems which are being faced by the customers?
Yeah, definitely. So you can see in the video, this video as well, right? In the slide. So if a user is asking some question in the natural language, it convert that into the understand that first, and it convert it into a SQL. Based upon the understanding, it go back to the data, the tables that is available. It understand the table because it has an understanding of the table using the semantic model that we built. We need to have a semantic view or a semantic model that shows, hey, this table, these are the matrix it have. This one particular table, these are the dimensions, these are the facts. So we are specifying that. We need to build that. That's the first step to build this Cortex analyst. We'll tell the model these are the dimensions facts from this particular table, and these are the multiple tables that you need to, or maybe you can ask question from, right? So now AI model know about the data and it has the metadata, everything. Now using this analyst, we can ask the question. It can give us a query. It can give us a thinking that hey, how exactly why I generated it, and just give us the result in the table form. So that is basically, in a nutshell, if I say it receives a question in the English language and it convert and give you the query and as well as execute the query and give us the result over there. Yeah. So it's really good for the user, for business users who are definitely asking question, and it's really faster, the process.
That's really insightful. How about you talked about the retrieval and the speed of it. Nowadays with more and more adoption of AI, there will be more questions, and as the adoption increases, everybody will be focusing on performance, right? Further,
Yep.
how exactly is smart retrieval, particularly in Cortex search, helping, to solve this problem particularly?
Yeah. So Cortex search, how exactly Cortex search work? So RAG is one of the major factor of it that we will understand in the next slide. But overall, how it works, we can simply understand from here. So Cortex search is definitely it works on the unstructured data. That is really clear, right? But how it works, it need to search the question, and based upon that it use the RAG. Okay, it understand, first of all we need to build the RAG pipelines and all to build the vectors of all the data that is available, unstructured data. And based on that it understand, first of all it convert your question into a vector and then try to find out the nearest vector and then try to give you the response and get the context from the relevant document, and then give the prompt and then provide it to the LLM function, then you get the response back. So you can see this
Yeah.
flow is really mentioned over here. That's where the Cortex search is really, this is a use case for that. And if you go to the next slide, we will talk about that how exactly RAG work.
Yeah.
What is
Basically,
RAG
the
essentially?
fundamental. Yeah. Yeah.
Correct. This is a little bit of fundamental. I think everyone is hearing about this, but what exactly the RAG is, right? It's just a retrieval. Retrieval is a major part. Retrieval means retrieving the context from the unstructured data. Okay, so how we retrieve it first for that, but before starting with retrieval, we need to store the unstructured data, either it's text, semi-structured data, whatever the kind of data we have. We need to store it into the vector DB. So here in our case, Snowflake support the vector data by with the use of vector data type. We can store the vector data type as a vector data type, the data in the Snowflake itself. But the process for that is first we need to chunk it, we need to embed that, and then we need to store it into vector form. Okay, that is the storage part. Once that is done, how retrieval start? So if someone user asks a question on the top left, so user asks a question, that question get converted into the embed into the vectors so that
Mhm.
it can find the relevant chunks from there, relevant the context and the vectors from the vector database, and then grab the relevant chunks. Chunks means, what is chunk? Chunks is basically the small set of, let's suppose, a transcript.
Right.
One transcript can be a chunk. It can also divide it into two chunks. It all depends how we set it up. So
Right.
those relevant chunks are fetched from the database, and based on that, we provide that as a context and is within the prompt, and then LLM understand it, then give us a response. And that response is contextualized, means it has a context as well. This
Correct.
is how RAG works basically,
Right.
and that's really cool because this, you don't need to do anything. You just set up the Snowflake intelligence platform, just build the Cortex as service, and you're good to go. And just enable it into the Cortex agent. So it's really easy to use for the users.
Yeah. It's just fundamental simplified. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you for that explanation, Sudeep. So, walk us through what we are going to build today.
yeah,
What,
definitely.
what, what is
So we are
there for us in the house today?
Definitely. So we are building a sales intelligent agent. May basically will build that agent which will help us to understand the performance of a salespeople, and not salespeople exactly, the sales data and the marketing data. So based upon all these, we'll combine it. We'll also see how customer is talking with how client is talking with the how the salespeople is talking with the client, the customers, and all those support conversations. Let's suppose if customer is calling, right, and they are giving the feedback, hey, this was really bad in this particular product, right, this is wrong, or this is not correct, or there is a defect in this. Okay, all those conversations are stored, and transcript is stored, and we'll use the Cortex search to fetch the data, get the context, and we also have the data available. The sales and marketing will combine it, will produce the insight and answer the question.
Got it. Got it. Great. But before that, you'd need your data, right? So let me
Yep.
introduce Hivo over here. And uh, We all know it's a SaaS ELT platform. We have about 150 plus connectors across file-based, SaaS-based, and database sources. And in very, very simple terms, it's the most quick way of moving your data into any kind of OLAP system. We'll use Snowflake today so that all our raw data is moved, and we can use that raw data to perform all kind of downstream analytics, AI specific analytics specifically over here. So yeah, we are partnered with Snowflake. We are a premier partner of Snowflake, where there are about 500 plus Snowflake customers who are using us for a variety of AI ML use cases over here. So the agenda of the demo is again divided into small steps over here. We'll start from ingesting data with Hivo so that Sudeep can further utilize those raw data and do uh, enable the structured data reasoning using Cortex Analyst, then followed by the data retrieval with search. He'll configure sales agent, and then we'll see what are the trends and anomalies we are getting out of that sales agent, right? With that being said, it's time for the demo. So I'll maybe start with creating the pipeline for you, Sudeep, so that you can utilize the data further. I hope you can see the Hivo UI now.
Yeah.
Great. So this is what we call as the landing page of Hivo data. Like I mentioned, we are a complete SaaS based data integration tool, and you can see all the different regions over here. You can choose to, create your Hivo account on. This particular window over here is basically telling you all the pipelines which are taking out data from a particular source into a destination. Pipeline creation process, again, very straightforward. As I click on the create pipeline button over here, you'll see we are now looking at a directory of data sources, and these are segregated across different domains. So we have databases and file system where you'll have all your NoSQL, SQL-based databases, even file-based sources like S3. Then we have engineering and analytics-based sources where you can find your SDKs, REST API, Jira. Similarly, finance and accounting-based application, marketing-based sources, product-based sources, sales and support. So there are about 150 plus native connectors that we have built in. I'll just use the S3 data source today so that we can provide the right files to Sudeep. As I click on configuring this S3 source, you'll see there is a page towards the right hand side, which is giving us a step-by-step approach on how to actually configure the source and, set up all the data that we are actually going to move to the destination. So even a non-technical user, for that matter, if he follows the guide, he'll be able to create his or her own pipeline. That's how simple it is. I'll just use the second method. There's one method of using your IAM role. Second is using access credentials. I'll copy some data and use my access key ID. Just a second. And my secret key. As I click on test and continue, I'm given the access to my S3 bucket. You just have to give the access key and secret key and give your bucket name and the region. And all the folders which are part of that bucket will be visible over here. You can choose to have all the folders ingested, or you can also pick specific folders. After that, define what type of file format are you ingesting. Depending on what files are present in that bucket, we have options of CSV. We also have semi-structured formats in form of JSON, XML, right, which can be utilized. You can define what should be the delimiter based on the file type that you're ingesting, and also specify from which row you want to pull the data from. There are further options in terms of, in case there's a compressed file existing in your bucket, we can include that. You can have a separate folder based, event created within Hivo, and you can also convert the datetime format to the timestamp. So all of the configuration which are required for you to easily move your data into the destinations are available in this. Now I'll just configure this further and select my destination again. Because we are talking about Snowflake and using Snowflake, I'll just choose my Snowflake destination. And that's about it. It'll just write a prefix. Prefix is just to differentiate all the tables that you're loading into the destination. There's also a great feature called auto mapping, which is essentially mirroring all the source schema in your destination. So you don't need to manually manage what data type do you need in the source and how to compatibilize in the destination, compatibilizing the nomenclature. All of it is automatically handled as your data is moving. And then finally, how do you want to schedule your pipeline? You can do it 30 minutes, 1 hour, and you can also customize it in terms of, running every 2 hours, every day at 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. You can have customizations based on your use case. And that's about it. As I click on continue, my pipeline is ready and it has started, flowing data into Snowflake destination. We have already created a pipeline so that Sudeep can, walk you through the demo further. But yeah, I'll hand it over to you, Sudeep, now. Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So we'll follow this Snowflake Intelligence, this developer guide for today's demo, where we'll basically follow it along. We have the Git repo already available with us. Okay. So we just need to open it. We have this setup.sql file. We can just copy the code from there and then we can follow it along. So we have two files from here that you need to refer. First is setup.sql and another is YAML file. This is YAML file will be required in the Cortex Analyst. So what I have done, I've already pasted the script here. It's ready. I've already ran it, but I'm showing it from scratch. So you see, it's running all the 43 queries. See how fast it is. It's what inside the SQL, this setup SQL is like, we're creating the stages, we're creating the tables, and we are providing all the roles, creating all the roles and providing all the permissions to that. And yeah, so the message is here. So this message means we have the setup ready. So one important thing to mention it here, that this, as per this guide, this fetches the data from the S3 bucket, which is available by the Snowflake platform itself. But in this case, if your organization, if you're interested to know, hey, if I have only one source, that is fine. This is fine. But what about another sources, multiple sources? That's where the Hivo came into picture. For now, Hivo, they have done, what Kushagra have done, he have placed all the data that I was looking for. You can see in the raw and dark arts schema, we have all the tables already available with us. So if you want to follow this approach as per the script, it's good, go ahead. But in case if you're interested to know and how this one, you can simply change the tables and these all pointing to these all tables available in this database and schema. You can refer to them and you're just simply good to go. Just replace those table name with these all and the rest of the setup is remains the same. Okay, cool. So we have done with the setup. Next thing is the Cortex Analyst. So what you need to do here, we have this studio. Let me open that. So first we'll start with Cortex Analyst, following the guide. So setup is done. Next is Cortex Analyst, where we need to upload the YAML file. This YAML file is already available over here. You can download it and then simply, I've already created it for you. Okay. So one second. So there is an important information. So you need to make sure your role should be intelligence agent. This is what recently created as per the script. So you make sure you change it up. Okay. Okay. So create agent. Sorry, this is the last step, guys. Main thing is the analyst. So I'll click on analyst directly. Yeah, this all got dropped because I created it, but now I recreated that. Yeah, the dashboard and everything. sorry, the database and schema I have recreated. Now I need to recreate this analyst again. So what you need to do for that? Upload your YAML file. I've already downloaded it. I'll click on this. Okay. I'll select the stage. What's a stage? It's a internal stage where we place some files. So click on upload. Okay. 1 second. Make sure this role and the warehouse is up and running. You can skip this. No need to mention something. Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we have this ready. Okay, it's having all the tables. You can see this is the table. These are the dimensions column from this table. Okay, this is the time dimension. These are the facts. So we are telling that these are the information that is useful and you can use it in the data answering the questions. And this is how you join the table. The relationship is mentioned and the sample query is mentioned. Simple query, you can understand that if someone should ask a question, we are providing it to give some idea to the analyst that, hey, this is how you should work. Okay. So once we have it, just click on save so that it save the semantic model and it can be used and referred by creating an agent. So next step is the Cortex search. So we'll click on search. Okay. I'll create the new search. This is our database and this is the schema, which is created as a part of the script. We'll give this a name. Next, we'll select this table. Okay, this is having all the chat scripts. Okay, so click on next. Okay, what is the search column? So we are telling that where exactly the script is placed. Those transcripts are there in which column? Transcript column is the where exactly all those scripts are available. Next, attributes means what all attribute that we need to provide apart from the transcript. So you can see transcript is the main column, then attribute the additional column, that is title and product. Then all other column you can select and then keep it as it is, all the things, and then make sure you use the warehouse which we created recently. Okay, it's active now. The Cortex search is done, Cortex analysis is done. Now, moving back to the agent. That's the last final step. So following the guide, okay, just click on this create agent and give it a name. So we'll click on create agent. We should create agent in the 1 second. Snowflake Intelligence. Yes. So Snowflake Intelligence is the database. Agent, we should be creating a different schema and database. We'll provide a name. The display name is this. Cool. So now we have the agent with us. You can see the chatbot is ready, but we need to provide some information to it. So let me add some description. Okay. Okay, cool. So some instructions and description. All right. So let me put some description to it. Okay. But before starting with the questions, huh? Let me put these questions. These are the default questions that should come up. Okay. Once user start the chat. Okay. And Okay, good to go. Now we'll add more tool capability. Means we'll keep on saving this. Yeah. Means like next is tools. Tool mean what? Analyst, search service, and some custom tool. We'll also add this custom tool as well, which could be sending an email. All right. We'll click on add. Okay. Uh, 1 second. Go back. So semantic model file should be there in the semantic models. So semantic model file. Currently, it's not picking it up. It should be there. We already saved it. Yeah, it should be up and running. Yep. We can edit this. We can add the tool. Yeah, we found it. Okay. So once we have the file here, okay, what all information we need to mention? This is the name of the tool, the description. You can copy it from here. We're just telling information, hey, what this is all about. And warehouse, we can use dashboard warehouse, this one. Timeout 60 seconds and add. Once this is there, you can see in the agent, the first tool is enabled. Okay. Moving to the next Cortex search. We have this service available. Okay. And ID column is the ID column. Title is the title. Okay. Tool. Name is support cases. Name is support cases. Okay. And we are good to go. Okay. We have this Cortex search is also attached to this. Let's move to the last one, which is the email. So it will also send the email to you if you want. So
Okay.
we'll use this. Let me give the tool name, send email, warehouse, this one. Okay. And some more information so that the agent should understand what these all parameters are, and it can, based upon the information that is provided, it can build the email accordingly. We need to provide that information to it in the description. Like if subject is blank, just put something, right? If email is not provided, send it to the current user's email address. So those all informations are available. So you can see we have this, all three tools are enabled. Now, what next? Now, setup is done. The Snowflake Intelligence agent is ready. Now let's ask some questions to him. Okay, let's make sure you save this. Okay, we are good. Preview in Snowflake Intelligence. Okay, I've already tried something and that's why it's showing the history. So definitely that's one of the feature of this. You can see in the agent, this is available to us. Okay, we can ask some questions. Example questions are there on the right hand side, or you can simply click on this as well. Let's see how it respond. Okay, you see, it's executing the SQL and it will provide us the result. It also shows the thinking. See, it has used the verified query, thinking completed. We have the trends, sales trend for each of the product category. That was a question that we asked. That for this particular between these June and August, right? How each of the for each of the product category, how was the what was the trend? Okay,
Right.
so this is what result is generated, and it's also giving you the trend as a summary, and the insight is also provided, right? Oh my God, the chart is also available with you. Okay, so you can see for the fitness wear, the green one, right? The sale in the July, it just bumped up. Okay, so to like 6.7 million. So that's really amazing, right? You don't need to generate a chart. You don't need to, insight is available, thinking is completed, is all information is available. And even if, let's suppose, you need to understand what was the query executed for that. This is the query. The planning step is also provided. Hey, I have a SQL ready results for this available. So data shows monthly sales for categories available. Let me provide the answer first and then evaluate, right? So that's how it's working. It's a complete assistant for the business users and even for the data analysts as well who want to just ask the question and it's ready for you. Now, let me provide quickly the another question to it. Okay. See, this is the so first question was they give the answer from the structured data which was available in the tables using the Cortex analyst. Now, this query, this question, it will give the answer from the unstructured, semi-structured data for using the Cortex search functionality. Okay. You see, based upon the customer support tickets, those transcripts, right? There is a clear pattern that there is a issue being reported in the thermal checking pro model. What is the issue? These are the issues. Seam steer, customer getting impacted and their response. See, everything is available. And even the chunk means the transcript is also provided. Hey, you see, this is the transcript which is used as a context. Okay. So
Right.
these all provided users are provided. See, these all high recent purchase. So everything is like the reason and the why is there. The explanation is there. That's what this Cortex intelligent agent is doing really great nowadays. So yeah, this is about the demo. I think if you have any questions, we can take it up now, Kushak.
Yeah. Maybe I can just share my screen again, Sudeep.
Okay, sure, go ahead.
That was a really insightful demo, Sudeep. Very, very contextual, both within your demo and metaphorically. But uh, how how do you want to, summarize all the operations that you did, as a tip to all our all the folks who have joined us today, so that they can also move ahead and build their own AI agents further.
Definitely. So these agents are assistant to us. So the person who is making it make sure that you really build a like the strong the model, semantic model or semantic view on top of your structured data, because AI will really understand the model. These agents will really understand from there using the model itself.
Right.
That's everything for them. So model should be strong, semantic model, semantic layer should be strong, and definitely you need to index the unstructured data. You need to provide the real-time example, the good example, the more examples, like we give three examples in the current scenario. So the more example you will give, it will really helpful for the agent as well as for the users to that, hey, these are the examples already ready. It means let me try that, right? And it will also helpful for the agent as well to improve and learn from those. Okay, and definitely we need to design this around the outcomes, around the actions that we do. We can keep on improvising it based upon our need and based upon our requirements. So yeah, that's a few tips around building and making it scalable.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, so these are important links. You can have create your Snowflake trial account for pushing all the relevant data. You can have a free trial for Hivo, and the guide which Sudeep was following for the overall flow is also kind of linked in the resources. Finally, If you want to get started with all the things that you saw today, schedule a demo with us. We'll walk you through how simple it is to, integrate your data from your source to your destination. Uh, Now, once you have moved your data, how do you experiment with Analyst, search, build your models, and, finally build your agent for your Snowflake Intelligence for all the use cases that you have in your day-to-day activities. Please get in touch for the same. We'll open it up to the questions. Guys, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat box. Okay. How does Hivo compare with OpenFlow? Uh, I can take that, Jay Muller. So, when we compare Hivo with OpenFlow, OpenFlow is relatively a very new offering integrated within Snowflake. And currently, the connectors that it is offering are very, very limited as of now. Hivo is a more informed player in the whole integration segment. So uh, we already are aware of what are the requirements in terms of the entire spectrum of connectors. So it cannot be just database, SaaS. We have an entire spectrum of connectors that we are offering. And secondly, it's plug and play with Hivo. So you just need to provide the right details of your source and your destination, and all the activities which are in between are automatically handled by the product, be it your schema, mapping between source and destination, be it, automatic retries for pulling in the right data. So it saves a lot of validation in that respect and a broader spectrum of connectors at this point of time. These are technical pointers, but of course there are a lot of more detailings when it comes to the cost, when it comes to availability of connectors, how fast we can deploy new connectors. All of these are factored in when it compares to OpenFlow. Sudeep, I guess we have a question over here. What is the accuracy of results generated by an agent? Is it different with different set of questions? You're on mute currently.
Yeah. So to understand the accuracy of result, right, that is generated by agent, right, it's really simple, right? Let's suppose the structure data. So this is another aspect that one need to deep dive if you're really implementing it in your organization, right? So especially those query, let's suppose it generated a query. So you can definitely uh, uh, put some 10 questions, 10, 20 questions, and for all those questions and understand that what was the query behind it for the structure data and find us which one is correct, which one is incorrect, right? And definitely the answer as well you can definitely understand from their perspective. So that is a manual step that one need to go through. And but for what I feel really that so far it's really doing really good. Okay, and we can definitely things really improve with the time. But it's really provide a good base for organization to start with, and for the customization part and then further check the accuracy and all the stuff that can be really tested based upon the need and based upon the requirement. Yeah.
In case you don't have a question now, but you want to probably try out everything, and you probably have to, imply upon the same flow further on in your use case, please feel free to reach out to us. Uh, and thank you for joining. And thank you again, Sudeep, for giving your valuable time. It was really insightful session today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for providing this opportunity. Yeah, I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.